Okay. All right. So now I have been checking the news more, and creepy old Biden is at it again. This man has the nerve to say if you have to think whether you're for me or Donald Trump, then you're not black. That statement is so wrong on so many levels. I don't even know where to begin. First and foremost, for him to even utter that statement out of his mouth, which I'm pretty sure he did, because his past involvement with a lot of racist things like the 1994 crime bill, and the fact that he and the other Democrats are making pathetic attempts to still pander to blacks and minorities and women, it's just all unraveling at a rapid pace. We're really now seeing Democrats in full action because now they love this control factor that they have across the United States with the shutdown, and then you got states struggling to open, and you got these partiality open laws and all this other junk. So Democrats are in full swing, and they are loving it because they know that their time is almost up. Automatically, five things pop into my head about this statement. The first thing, the statement is very racist. Number two, it's an assault to people's intelligence. Number three, stop telling us how to vote. Stop telling us how to think. And number four, we haven't forgotten how much dirt you did in the past with these same dirty politicians that are still trying to basically go against America and specifically the black race. Not so much, well, they are racist, but especially for blacks because they know if blacks vote one way or the other, it can flip a whole election across the United States. This is why they're so after us in this election. And like I said last night, they try to do it with the gays and everything. It's not working. So, again, those are the reasons that that statement is so wrong. Oh, number five. Number five is just, I would say, it just leaves me speechless. And somebody training him to say these things, I don't think he realized what comes out of his own mouth. I mean, we all say, well, Donald Trump, he don't know what he's saying. I said, yes, he knows exactly what he's saying, and at least he sticks by it and delivers promises. My thing is, you sit here and these Democrats come up with the most absurd, off the wall, crazy things to say, and then turn around and blame Donald Trump for all their problems and things that they have caused, and things that Donald Trump is actually trying to rescue us from. But yeah, I guarantee you, despite them kicking Stacey Abrams to the curb, despite them, all of a sudden, I remember last year when they had like a whole panel of candidates to run for the Democratic nominee for president. They had blacks all across the board. And I always notice the blacks they're always the first ones to go in the Democratic race, always. And that they do end up staying is because they have either been in there for years, years and years and years, like Maxine Waters and Sheila Jackson Lee, people like that have been stuck there for years. Yeah. But everybody else gets booted out right away because why? They're trying to set up the impression of, oh, well, you see, you got to have a couple of us white leftists on here to show that you need us in order for the blacks to stay. That's been their whole plan from day one. And I saw the statement that Joe Biden said this. I'm not surprised. Number one, you have no authority or no right to tell us, based on our race, how we should vote. Number two is racist. You're basically telling me that I have to vote a certain way to be considered black. When has black ever become a behavior? When has black ever become a mindset? When has black ever become a victim mentality? You can't associate those two off the bat like that. If somebody has a victim mentality, it's not because they're black. It's because something's wrong in their brain and they're not putting forth an effort to do better. It has nothing to do with race. Because I see a lot of whites with victim mentality. I've seen blacks. I've seen just about every race and both genders that have a victim mentality. I have dated men of different races, and some of them had a different mentality. I have dated, dated men that have had a victim mentality. I have been around people that have had a victim mentality. I've seen it all around. It's not just exclusive to the black race. And number three, you have no authority to tell us how to vote. And for you to say, oh, if you don't vote for me, or if you can't decide to vote for me or Trump, I guess you're saying that, oh, well, it's like a thing for myself that makes me not a black person. And you're equating blackness with, don't think for yourself, just be a dumb sheep and just follow whatever the dictator says. Like, what? No. And like I said, it's an assault. Number four, and all my points are not in the exact same order, but it's still the same points. But don't insult my intelligence. I mean, do you really think we're that stupid? And number five, like I said, I'm just speechless at the whole thing. I believe somebody is programming him or training him to say this dumb stuff. Because Joe Biden don't even remember what he said probably 5 minutes ago. Probably don't remember what he said, or don't know if he said it or not. But I know you have handlers that are working him to say these things, to keep him going, to prop him up as a puppet to use to pander towards blacks. Where half of us are fed up, have had it with the government, have had it with a lot of things, and you see a lot of people are not awakening and have awakened to follow Trump and see that Trump probably has done more for blacks than any other president I've seen in my lifetime. I know people say Reagan was a wonderful president. I'm pretty sure he was. And I was a baby when he was in the White House, so I have no recollection. But if they're saying since Reagan, he's the best president, that lets me know that Reagan was a pretty darn good president back in the 80s. And for us to now have Donald Trump 30 years later, that says a lot. So I wish I was able to experience like firsthand how Reagan really was. Like I said, I was a baby, so it's nothing much I could really, go off of. But when I hear people say that Trump and Reagan are like Trump, Reagan, and Lincoln were like the best three presidents this country has ever had, that's a good sign. So, like I said, Joe Biden just ran out. And I'll hope and pray that people wake up and smell the roses and stop letting these Superman Democrats you believe that's going to be your white savior come and save you from your own self-inflictions. It's not going to happen. These people are going to continue to pander to you, to control you, to steal your vote so they can stay in power and use your struggle against you and can care less about you. It's about time we start voting people in that care. And yes, there are some Republicans that don't care. There are a few rhinos. They're getting booted out. One thing difference I notice about the Democrats and Republicans, see, the Democrats will keep people on that are absolutely horrible for it. They will keep politicians on that are absolutely horrible for the American people. They'll just sweep it under the rug and keep it going. Well, the Republicans, after a while, when we see that you're a rhino, you're going to get booted sooner or later. Like, you're not going to stay and keep screwing up what we believe in. So that's the main difference between the two parties. The Republicans, they're going to call you out and boot and kick you to the curb because they're tired of your rhinosity, if you will, if that's even a word. They're going to get tired of it. And the Republicans are, and I say individualistic, I don't mean as like self-serving, but when I mean individualistic, I mean we can think for ourselves and not have to be part of this monolith that's out there. I don't have to be part of this black monolith. I don't have to be a part of this feminist female monolith. I don't have to be a part of uh, this oh woe is me mentality monolith. Like I'm not for those things. I'm not. I think for myself. And for Biden to say, oh, well, if you got to decide if you for me or Trump, then you're not black. Oh, so yeah, so basically telling me if I think for myself, I'm not considered black, or that's not a black thing to do, to think for yourself. Seriously? This man, he needs to go sit down somewhere. And I guarantee you, the fact that Biden's campaign has booted Stacey Abrams to the curb, they might be mad for a few seconds. But all that matters is the fact that Trump is in office. It's like people will create their own demise to get back at somebody that's not out to get them. And I'll repeat that again. People are so bitter and angry at Trump that they will create their own demise when Trump has nothing to do with their problems at all. Trump is not out to get you. Unless you are a communist and you're trying to undermine our military, or you're trying to spy on America and go report to somebody else about it, unless you are an anti-American commie that is against the United States, then you might have some concern. But if you're just a black person somewhere, just mind your business, working and going to school or doing whatever you got to do to get by and get through life, sweetheart, he's not after you, and never was. He's only after these Chinese communist government. He's after the socialists and these terrorists that are both foreign and domestic. He's after those people. He's not after you, sweetie. He's actually protecting you and saving you from a world of trouble and hell had he not been voted in. And people say, well, all the elections are pre-planned. Yes, I do believe up until the last president, I do believe all the elections were pre-planned and pre-scheduled. But in this case, I do not believe Trump was ever expected to win. He was ever planned for him to win. Because they already had the thing rigged. They had Hillary set up to win. And that's sad. When you rig an election and you still lose, that's messed up. You know you're about to go down. Your empire, your little Babylon you have created has fallen. So, like I said, the fact that all these years that the elections have been rigged for years, and their president was already pre-selected. They already had everything scoped out how they want to put votes in this area and put votes in the other area to skew the results. And people said, oh, Trump, he's a part of it too. If Trump was a part of it, they wouldn't be hating on this man as much as they are. They would not be constantly throwing daggers at this man, constantly throwing fiery darts at this man. They wouldn't be. If he was part of this whole deep state coup, he would not be a target like he is. So people say I said, yeah, he might have been around the elite, but I don't think he's part of it. And if he was, he certainly is not a part of it anymore, because you see how dirty and corrupt they are. So that's my take on that. Joe Biden is a mess for saying that, thinking that, we're stupid and can't think for ourselves. Let's just stop pandering to us. You're really showing your true racist nature by doing so. Just stop. And they're not even covert about it anymore. They're becoming more and more overt, meaning that they just do that right in front of you and don't care. I'm so done. I'm ready for this to be over. It needs to be just all need to come out, which I believe it is. There's a lot of things that's about to be exposed in the next few months that's going to blow your mind. So be prepared. Stay prayed up. Stay prayerful. listen to the voice of God. And I'm speaking to myself too, because we all get a little sidetracked sometimes, especially us being on this lockdown. But just be prayerful, be hopeful, be optimistic, have the faith, and keep it moving. And yes, think for yourself. Stop following the crowd, because the crowd could be leading you to a cliff because it's popular. You know, march the beat of your own drum as, and think for yourself. I'm not saying be self-sufficient to the point to where you don't listen to God, but be yourself. Be an individual, as in think for yourself. Don't just go with what the crowd says, because the crowd could be doing the work of the devil, and you not questioning it. You right along with them doing ungodly things. So on that note, I'm out. I'm trying to scrap up something to eat here. I'm so tired of this crap. I miss my Trader Joe's and my Whole Foods. I miss my organic foods, but with this whole lockdown, it's hard to get into any store, and I'm just like, ugh. So anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like what you see on my channel. And again, I know I look a little rough right now. I mean, as most women probably do, you know, our hair's undone. We need to get like our nails done and all that stuff. So I mean, yeah, I really don't have any shame right now. I mean, it's just what it is. So thank you for watching, and have a good day.